Hello, Glowbusters. Yes, of course they're serious. You do? You have? No kidding. Uh-huh. Oh, they'll cure your globitis this week. Thank you. We got one!
Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Globebusters.
What are you supposed to be, some kind of a cosmonaut?
No, we're exterminators.
And now, here's your host.
Oh, that was weird. And welcome everybody to Globebusters, the Impossible Apollo missions. I am your host, Bob Xanadude60, and we are back with another great show for you today on a Sunday show. And we will be doing most of this show from another channel. And I've got this streaming also on DLIve and on Rokfin, but I do have it set up so that it is free for everybody. And the reason for that is because one of the main sources of material that I'm using, which is one of the best I think there really is out there, it's an absolute fabulous movie, I'm sure many of you have never seen it, is called, wow, I've gotten nothing but circles going everywhere. Can you guys hear me?
I hear you.
Yes, perfect. Yeah.
Okay.
I do see a circle on the screen.
Yeah, all of my screens are doing that. What the hell is going on here?
Somebody says your mic is too low. I don't know. I'm not listening to the live feed.
All right. All right. Hopefully that'll be a little bit better. But yeah, I am sitting here spinning. Let's try and refresh.
They say we can hear you, so maybe it is okay better now.
Okay, there we go. Everything came back. Oh, God, I hate it when it does that. It's like, yeah, what a pain in the butt. Anyway, okay, so as I was saying, the source material which we will be using today, a large part of it is from a movie called The American Moon. Now, I found this movie, gosh, about 2-3 years ago, something like that, and watched it and just went, wow, that's got to be the best debunked movie I think I've ever seen. And I just couldn't believe that, you couldn't really find it anywhere. Well, one of the reasons that you can't find it anywhere on Flat Earth is, of course, as you know, some people that would show
Hate
this
that.
would, I'm sorry, Hero?
Hate us.
Yeah, some people that hate us, yeah, no doubt.
Directly, you.
would strike us automatically. Whoopsie. So let's see. So where is this notification? Anyway, it's at the beginning. I'll show it to you later. Oh yeah, here it is right here. There we go. All right. So this is what they say. In particular, the so-called flat earthers are warned against using this material in their own videos. Any violation will be promptly reported to YouTube and with requests for immediate takedown. Well, unfortunately, these people don't understand the rules of being able to comment on things, fair use, and YouTube will take down anything from a flat earther on request, whether they're right or wrong, as we found out all too easily when we had material up from what's his name over at what's that moon site, the website? Ollis.com. Yeah. So this guy would do the same thing. So I just said, okay, well, whatever. We will just go ahead and broadcast it on Rokfin and put the middle finger up to these guys and say, oh, you did a great job on your movie. but you don't understand the law, and the law says that we can use this, especially for commentary, and that's exactly what we're going to be doing. So,
And more
whether
than anything, it's a transformative, right? So, I mean, if you get on there and say the same thing they say, so if we just said, the moon is fake and here's why, and we show their movie, well, then that's not really fair use. You're not transforming it. But when we are flat earthers, that even gives us more reason to be able to use something as fair use, because we are changing what you made and saying, well, this is how we see it differently. That's the point of fair use.
Exactly. So we have every right in the world to use it, but unfortunately, these guys, they obviously are serious enough about it. They bothered to put this little disclaimer in there. So rather than get another strike, because that's one thing that did happen after last week's show, I got demonetized again. So that's okay. Que sera. I can reapply for monetization again in a month, but they hate us. But what do you do? And okay, so all right, so let's go ahead and introduce the cast, since we've already done that practically already. But first up, as always, is Jeran from Jeranism. How you doing, Jeran?
Fantastic. Thanks, Bob. Glad to be here.
Excellent. Glad to hear it. And next up, we have Mr. Iru Landucci. Hey, Iru, how you doing, buddy?
More fantastic than Jeran. So
How dare you?
super fantastic. Yeah. Just a little bit.
Yeah, what were you doing last night that kept you up so late?
Well, I have a party from a very close friend, a birthday party, and I miss a little bit, since the COVID season, nobody goes to parties and things like that. So I'm trying to remember how I used to be a young man going at night at parties, and I forget now I have 41, and you take a little more time to recover. That is why my voice.
Yes, that is absolutely, and 40 is right about the age that it really start noticing it.
A little bit, yes.
Yeah, I definitely did. Right around 40, and then 50 wasn't so bad, through that.
I don't want to talk about that, man. I had 10 years ahead, so don't worry. I just wait.
Yeah.
I'm joking.
No, I hear you. It's like, it's not something to look forward to anyway. Unless you look forward to getting old and decrepit, and none of your body parts working anymore, and feeling like shit half the time. And
well, thanks to cloud shops, maybe we can change some parts of our bodies, for free, of course.
Yeah, no kidding. God, they really are pushing that little agenda everywhere. It's like, oh yeah, look what we can do. We can make, with stem cells, we can make all new body parts, but they'll never do that. They would never do that anyway, because that would save lives, and that's not exactly what they're in the business for. So it's just absurd how they would advertise that, but whatever, trips or trigger. So
yeah.
All right.
So hello everyone.
So all right, and hello Iru. So on to Austin Whitsitt. Hey Austin, how you doing, man?
I'm actually doing exceptionally fantastic. So you both can take that one. And it's pretty funny you guys said that, because I've been like wrapping my mind around. I turned 30 a few days ago, and I'm like, I really
poor baby. Oh,
it got to me, man. Don't be like that, bro. I'm like, whoa, 30. I used to always say everything I would say that I'd put off, including marriage. Ironically, I always just used 30 as this like very distant marker that I couldn't even think of or fathom, and here we are.
Oh, God, do I remember that? Yeah, I remember a long time ago. At one point, I was living with my sister and my brother-in-law in South Dakota. I lived out there for about 6 or 7 months with them, and it was just so weird because, I was, I don't know, 14 or 15, something like that, and they had just turned into their 30s, and I was thinking, oh my God, that's so old. And now I'm more than double that age. It's like, Jesus, it just goes so fast. It's crazy. So, you are, I take it, in South Dakota, yes?
I'm back in Florida now.
Oh, really? Okay, so any good news from South Dakota? Anything you can report?
Well, yeah, so they found me guilty, $260 fine on both charges.
Oh, wow.
It was, but I will say I actually expected that, but I just know this is going to be the period where no one's really going to listen to me, and it's okay. But like anytime that you change a law, it only happens in appeals, and it goes up. So it's like that always happens. I don't. So I kind of expected that, because what I did was just challenge the law. I didn't try to. There's a million things like the stuff you text me, different comments, many things, but I just wanted to change the law. So anyway, long story short, they wouldn't let us all in because we weren't. You had to be fully vaccinated or wear a mask. And then I said, "What's fully?" I was like, "I'm pretty vaccinated. I got all kinds of vaccines, like right when I came out the womb." And then he of course specifies, no, it's good to be the special one. And I'm like, "What does fully mean?" And he didn't know. I'm like, "How many is that? 4 or 5 or 3 or what is it?" They don't know. And I'm like, "Okay." So they wouldn't let Kai and Chris come in with me. And then I go in there, and of course I'm just getting bombarded with their little kangaroo court. And then the government gets to do their whole thing, because of course they go first, right? The prosecutor goes first, and then the defendant goes last, because you get to respond to all the accusations. They have to prove you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. This is, of course, just in front of a judge, not even a jury, which is in violation of the Constitution itself. But long story short, she does her whole thing. I have my MacBook in there. They have it hooked up where I can screen share. They can go back and forth. So she presents all her stuff. I get to cross-examine her witnesses, which were the 2 cops, and that was hysterical. And then I was going to get to present my stuff. And she's like, "Okay, we're going to move to closing arguments." I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "Well, it was my turn to show my exhibits and my evidence and give my presentation. It's my turn to give my case." Like, the government rested their case, and she's like, "Okay, we're going to move to closing arguments." I'm like, "What?" So I was like trying to show good faith and be respectful and let them fully finish. I wasn't objecting much. I was letting them get it all out, because then I get to present my case. And no, I just didn't get to, so that's basically what happened. And there's a lot of things I can do. Of course, $260 and it's cost us way more than that. But out of principle, I'm gonna fight the whole way. I think I can pull it off. So yeah, not the best news. I guess the best news would have been I just walked in there and dominated them. I would have probably been allowed to give my side though. So yeah, I don't know, crazy stuff. And then Chris pushed his off, and so then I get to file constitutional challenges through him, which is hilarious. And I get to do appeal. I can also do mistrial. There's a whole bunch of stuff, but there's a bunch of stuff that's on the record in that one that happened that's really epic. So long story short, we're just kind of took our first step, and it was pretty exhausting. And I spent my birthday in 30-degree weather instead of like 80-degree paradise. And yeah, there's just a little kangaroo court, you know how it goes.
Yeah. God, that is really pathetic. Unbelievable. I can't. So they just didn't mention it, and they denied you or whatever? Because I mean, yeah, you obviously should have your turn to present your case. So yeah, I'm really confused about that. But
yeah, so like okay, so she brought her witnesses, the cops. I got to cross-examine them, right? And then I can call myself as a witness, whatever that means. And honestly, playing their game is how we lose in general. Like, this is a kangaroo court. Like, I'm not in a corporate contractual agreement with you. I don't identify as these corporate entities in which you presuppose a contractual agreement based on acquiescence or tacit agreement, just meaning you don't tell them no, so they just assume that you're in it and all this stuff. That is the move with most things. And a lot of flat earthers are kind of triggered at me because I'm not really doing that. And I wrote a motion with the word defendant in a lot. But, you can just trust me. I did it on purpose because I want to change the law. I don't just, in general, you don't even play their game. But we'll see what happens. I know it's not easy, but it's just crazy. Like I got to say some things, and you could tell that she just didn't want me to get to present my point. And I get the cops on so many things. I get the cops lying on oath. I get them contradicting themselves. I set them up and asked them tactically, all these questions to where when I presented my exhibits, it was going to prove they lied. And then I didn't even get to show my screen once. I didn't even get to show anything on my computer once. So yeah, it was really crazy, man. It's gonna be epic though. That's a transcripted court record,
Wow. I wonder if a standard attorney, now that you're gonna have, your only recourse is through appellate, if a standard attorney would be any help in that particular venue.
Yeah, maybe so. Like I can also do mistrial. I can file reconsideration. Like she actually she said that the law was constitutional, but she didn't respond to my argument. Both of the federal judges responded to my argument like Globers respond to us, where they literally just hand wave dismiss your argument and then argue against straw man arguments. Dude, the judges did that. Yeah. So it's like scripted for appellate, right? Because then the appeal sees it. They're just trying to figure out what the other judge did wrong. It's like they literally didn't even respond to my actual arguments. It's really crazy. So I don't know. I think it could be a beautiful thing in the long run. It just sucks. The reason this never happens, the reason that this law has only been changed 10 years ago or 12 years ago, and is because it sucks. It sucks to go through this, to have this dragged over you, where they're giving you all these threats and trying to scare you with mandatory appearances thousands of miles away and last day notice and not let you in without a mask. And they just try to break you down where no one fights them. And so I think we should fight them. You know, I mean, I'm whatever. I'm just gonna fight them. Yeah.
I agree, but it's obviously it's expensive. It's very time consuming, and of course, them being in South Dakota and you have to go to their venue. That's weird though. You think you should be able to have a federal venue anywhere, but I don't know. I don't know anything about that, but it's really bizarre. They do that absolutely on purpose because again, the law is designed to protect the corporation and protect the state, and it does absolutely nothing for the common man. And you know, we just get screwed out of it, and only the people who really have the drive to continue on, the drive, the money, the will, all that move forward. And I think at some point you're probably right, and at that point I think you should get some damages. And if it goes to that, I would have to say that there would be no one more deserving of getting some damages, and quite a few of them, than you, because this whole thing has been a complete charade.
Well, thank you, man. Yeah, that's the next thing, right? You have the civil action. And I even mentioned that, and the judge's face like changed on the spot. She's like, oh, wow. Because I'm like, yeah, I got discovery one day before, bro. And they sent me hours. I didn't get to see it. I woke up at 3 a.m. We had to drive 3 hours to the airport, fly 5 hours, 4 hours, then drive 5 hours, and then get discovery. And I can't sleep. I have to try to stay up until like 3 a.m. trying to look through hours of discovery, then go there. It's like, it's all ridiculous. But I guess my point I'm making is we live in a really crazy time in America, right? And so I'm there for First Amendment. And a lot of people maybe say, like, Austin, you should have kept your cool at Rushmore more. Probably. That dude got me mad. The cop got me mad. People were threatening me in the crowd, and I was just kind of real assertive and kind of aggressive. And I would do it differently if I could, and blah, blah, blah. But it's not about that. The law is so bad, I couldn't follow their rules, so I had to make up my own rules. That's not my fault. That's their fault. But it's for the First Amendment. Then if you want to actually go fight it, instead of pretending that they just get to make you pay all these things with federal threats, you have to let them violate your First Amendment again to even go in the courts. Dude, I had to get an exception to be able to go to my trial without a mask. And there's a standing order that you're not allowed to go in there unless you're fully vaccinated or you have a mask. And so literally to defend the First Amendment in America in 2022, you have to let them violate your First Amendment to go in there and even attempt to do it. So it's like the principle for me. It's like if we don't do something, I think flat Earth is a big truth. I think a lot of people in flat Earth are realizing the next step is us taking back our freedom, in the sense that we denounce these legal fictions and these contracts, and we take our power back with the law. Because if we do not, we're not changing anything. And a lot of people stay closet flat earthers, I think, because they don't really see a plan of action. They're like, well, okay, but you've been talking about it for 5 years. Like, what's the plan? What are you guys going to do? Like, what's the change you're aiming for? Like, what's the plan of action? Right? And so I think there's this kind of time where if we don't stand up to them, it's going to be really bad, because they're not even going to let you come in and defend yourself anymore. And yeah, it's just, I don't know. I think, like, out of principle, I can't fold, you know?
Yeah. And I mean, they're already trying to abolish all of our rights anyway, the free speech rights, gun rights. They're trying to kick those completely out the window, anything like that. So that, you know, or suspension of all rights whatsoever, if you're, you know, found applicable under some sort of the Patriot and some sort of statute in the Patriot Act, right? It's like, it's unbelievable that this stuff even has gotten in to legislation, let alone passed. And a lot of it actually has come in through executive order, and executive orders technically are not legal, but what they did is they rewrote them, basically said, well, they didn't rewrite the law. They just took the position that, well, if somebody doesn't oppose it, i.e. the House or the Senate or something like that, well, then if the executive order is issued, then it stands. Right. And it's complete bullshit. The president does not have that kind of power, and they usurp all kinds of rights doing that. Right now, they're trying to do it with, taking over the state's National Guards, right, and keep them under federal command. right? Instead of where the states needs them. Of course, the states would need these National Guards for what? The Second Amendment. Why? Because we are supposed to have a well-armed militia in case the government turns into exactly what it has done today. It's just freaking unbelievable. And people are just so asleep. It's so discouraging. It really is. And those of us that see it, you know, we get screamed at and called retards and everything else. I mean, not only for that, but, you know, for all these other lies that we see by the Walking Dead zombies, you know, and it's a really, really tough thing. And, you know, I guess maybe in the afterlife or something, I must have signed up to be part of this. I think all of us must have at some point. And because, you know, part of my belief system does lead me to that, you know, I wanted to help bring light into other people's lives. And, but I got to tell you, it's not comfortable. Sometimes I think I wish I would have just taken the blue pill and remained stupid, you know? So
Yeah.
it is what it is. We're doing what we're doing, and, you know, no turning back now. And not only that, it's just wrong. You know, we can't let this continue to happen. And, you know, so anyway, all right, guys, so let's get on to the show. And as I said, that is about the Apollo missions. And so I guess what I can do, I suppose I should probably, well, if we're going to jump into this, I should probably get off of YouTube. So everybody, let me paste in the link. It's in the show notes already, guys. And mods, if you will take this link and spam it both in the DLive and the YouTube link, or chats, I mean. There you go. And then we will take everybody over there. This is free. You do not have to you do not have to pay for this or anything like that. You go there. It's set up as free already. The whole
You don't even need to you don't even need to have an account.
Yeah, you can just go right to it.
You don't even have a computer.
Nope.
You
Nope,
can just
you don't
watch
need
by the ether.
Look up in the sky, and NASA Bluebeam is going to be displaying it.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Awesome sauce. All right. So let me paste it in there a few more times for you guys. So, Ira, do you have this this movie on your channel?
No, I think I never see it before, or I don't recall to see before.
You know, it's weird because Kyle said he found it on your channel, and it's like, really?
In my channel?
Yeah, maybe he thinks this is your channel, this Luogu Kamun 2.
Well, maybe I used to have it, and the party last night erased my memory from that video. But I'm gonna see, you know.
Yeah,
I'm gonna see when you play it, and maybe I can remember something. I'm gonna ask the ether if it can bring me back my memories.
All right, sounds good. All right, so anyway, guys, move on over. Get to the DLive. Get to Rokfin. Either one works. Let me put in the DLive link also, so you can do that one. So if you don't like Rokfin, you can go right to DLive.
How dare you go to Rokfin where you can talk free?
I know, don't you hate hearing that?
It can't be free speech if it costs me money.
You're a sellout. You want to talk. You want to actually speak the truth. What a sellout. Just you sit over here and don't talk the truth, or you're a sellout.
All right, cool. All right, so YouTube, we are going to shut you down. Come on over and join us over there, and we will get on with the show. So we'll see you in just a few minutes. Thank you very much, YouTube, and bye-bye.